Hello, this is Serum. I am back again on Kerbal Space Program. As you can see, we have now successfully got a man orbiting the planet Kerbin and are attempting to bring him back home in our little space race that's going on. This is the first man mission. If you remember on the last episode, I had put 5 communication satellites up, or I should say I just put the 5th one up. So once communication satellites were up, it seemed like it was time to send a man into orbit and then bring him back safely to Kerbin. And so you can see here I'm actually trying to bring him in. At this point, the capsule separated, and I'm actually trying to bring him back to the Kerbin station, or the ground base. And I'm attempting to get as close as I can. And I end up, I'll make it pretty close. At least I'm landing on the same continent, so I'm not landing in like the enemy's territory or anything like that. But I didn't quite make it back. I misjudged the friction of the atmosphere, and it brought me in a little bit quicker than I was expecting. But that's okay. It's not too bad considering it was just a capsule, and there was no propulsion of any kind on this. So we're coming in. I just cleared the mountains, and you can see that little speck up there. That's Kerbin. That's one of my ground. I don't know what that is. I think it's one of my rovers that I left sitting out there that's highlighted. You can see it right there. But we're coming in. I think we end up getting within about 40 meters of the space station. Why do I keep calling it space station? The space center. And then safely parachute down. And Jebediah is the first Kerbin to go completely around the planet and land safely again. So we'll just have him climb out here, and he celebrates. Yay! So now we jump ahead. They've decided it's time to send some Kerbins to the moon. And once again, Jebediah is one of the mission crew members. And but I decided I wanted to actually have other Kerbins in it. So I didn't want to just do one Kerbin. I wanted to send 3 of them in the module that holds 3. So I decided to do that, and this is actually my first or my second attempt to send somebody to the moon. If you've seen some of my older videos, I did get somebody to the moon, but I had too much lateral movement, and I ended up crashing onto the surface, and the rocket was destroyed. The capsule survived, so technically I did get a Kerbin on the moon. I just didn't have any way to bring him back. So this is actually the first time this is the first attempt to actually land somebody on the moon and still have the rocket left to bring him back, or at least hopefully bring him back. So I'm in orbit, and I'm now extending out to try to meet the moon. I was having a little bit of troubles here, but you can see I do meet up with it. So I jumped ahead here, and I'm approaching the moon. And I'm still not real familiar with how to use the maneuver nodes. I'm starting to get the hang of it. But I use that. But for some reason, because I'm using the Poodle engines, I didn't have enough power. So when I did my burn, my orbit wasn't quite where it needed to be, so I still made the moon, but not at the point that I was hoping to meet up with it. But I was still able to get basically in front of the moon's orbit and just have it come up behind me, which is probably the most dangerous way to land on the moon. But I decided, what the hell, I'm going to go for it anyway, and I still have plenty of fuel left, so it works out great. Unfortunately, my rocket was a little unstable, so I got a lot of spin getting into the atmosphere, and because of that, I used a lot more fuel than I wanted, and I went off course, so I'm not landing on the moon at the horizon there, or at the equator like I wanted. So I'm a little bit to the south, I believe, is the direction. But I'm coming in. Of course, Jebediah, the most experienced astronaut here, or kerbalnaut, is very excited about this. The others, Bill and Macing, are not quite sure what to make of this. They're a little bit nervous, a little apprehensive, but Jebediah looks like he's enjoying it. Looks like he is enjoying it a little bit too much. So we're coming down. I still have my last stage, still has some fuel in it, but I'm running out. Okay, so I've separated now. Now I'm just the last stage, which is the one that has to get me home. And I'm bringing that down, and it's very wobbly, but I managed to kind of get it upright. I had a hard time doing this. It took me several attempts, but I did finally get it because I didn't have the advanced SRS on it, so it was like going all over the place on me. But I managed to fight. It's kind of drifting, but I cut the engines, and then I just let it drop in, and then I give it a little bit of a boost here just as we come down. I can see my shadow, so I know I'm close to the ground. A little bit more of a boost, start to drift, shut it, and we're down. This is the first time I have successfully put any Kerbins on the moon with their rocket still in one piece, in their landing module or whatever you want to call it. So I quickly extract the panels just so I can make sure I got power, because the last thing I want to do is be dead in the dark on the moon with no way to take off or control my rocket in any way, or even extend the ladder, which now I'm doing that once the panels are open. And I'm kind of deciding who to put on the moon, and I kind of decide I'm going to go with Jebediah here because, he is the crew leader and he's the most experienced, having circled the Earth already once, being the first Kerbin into space. So I do the EVA with him. You bring him out on the ladder here. And he's going to climb down. I was glad to see the ladder worked well. It is one small step for Kerbin kind and one giant leap for... Wait, I screwed that up, didn't I? Anyway, point is, then I had some fun jumping around on the moon. So next, I'm going to take them home. We will be seeing if we can get back. We have lots of fuel left in this rocket, so I think I'm confident I have enough to get us home, and that will be my next goal. Because I want to successfully put Kerbins on the moon. Now I want to bring them back. So as you can see, I have plenty of fuel. I'm ready to go.